Right, I'm just going to say one thing. This is an important thing. So Professor Kevin Dutton, he wrote a book. Now, let me explain it properly because it sounds bad initially. He wrote a book called The Good Psychopath. And he presented this program on Channel 4 called Psychopath Night. And what he did is he presented a scale, a psychopathic scale, where what he showed was that in a different dimension, a psychopath, their traits that they have can be very useful traits. And so he talked about the positive traits of psychopath. That's why he called it the good psychopath. And basically what I realized what he was describing very early on is describing ESTPs.
Pretty psychopathic, Nate. Well above the norm. I can see why you called me out for company. You know, if I were looking for somebody with a high psychopathy score, I would look for SLEs and Enneagram 8s. So in this video, I'm going to take the psychopathy test that Nathan linked and go through all the questions with you guys, give my answers to it, look at my results. I'm not expecting to score low, really. But first, I want to encourage everybody to like, subscribe, leave comments with your own scores. If you take the test, I'll leave the test in the comments below. If you got any stories, thoughts, whatever on psychopathies, psychopaths, who you think is a psychopath, if you want to play that game. Psychopathy is interesting in the mental health world because it's got quite a reputation for itself. But it really is, if you don't know, is a subclinical, meaning it's not a diagnosis. It's not a disorder, technically. A subclinical cluster of personality traits, including low empathy, low guilt, high impulsivity, glib and superficial charm, and within psychopathy, there's sort of two components. The primary component, which is understood to be largely genetic, and sort of how your brain works, is called fearless dominance, and it's the low guilt, low fear, low remorse, high aggression, those sort of components. And then there's the secondary psychopathy, which is more to do with actual antisocial behaviors and criminal activities, or sociopathy. Secondary psychopathy is very similar to sociopathy. What I find the most fascinating of all about psychopathy is that it's treated by the general public as, it's treated with contempt. And for something that's a medical condition, it's the only thing where it's the only sort of condition, I guess for lack of a better word, that I can think of, where it's socially acceptable to criticize and stigmatize it. I mean, could you imagine talking about somebody with autism or Asperger's or, schizophrenia? I mean, any other mental disorder. Can you imagine if they were treated with the same sort of contempt and animosity that psychopaths, sociopaths, to some extent narcissists to a lesser extent. It would be so politically incorrect and socially unacceptable to be just, you know, slamming these sort of people, fucking autists, you know, you can't do that shit. So I think it's interesting that this is an exception to social norms. I also think it's interesting how many women there are who all of a sudden decide after they break up with their boyfriend that he's a fucking narcissist or he's a fucking psychopath. I mean, god damn. Diagnosing your ex with cluster B disorders is cliche. Yeah, I agree with that. Survival of the fittest, certainly, and also circumstances, but that's really just luck of the draw. So, functionally, it's survival of the fittest. And I don't care about the losers. I mean, I don't normally particularly care about the losers unless there's something specific, you know, like victims of police brutality or whatever, you know, that's sort of my niche. But in day-to-day life, yeah, people rise and people fall, and fortunes come and fortunes go, and I don't particularly worry myself with the losers, because there's always going to be losers, and it's just unnecessary. They're not helped by me worrying. All the fucking time. Story of my life. 5. Yep. Bro, I'm so prone to boredom, and I hate it. Anymore, it's not so bad. My life is too busy, which is how I like it. But yeah, super prone to boredom, and fuck that shit. I need thrills, motherfucker. I mean, I think that today's world even would negate doing whatever the fuck you want. Surely in the past you had a lot more freedom to just kill people. You're not gonna get fingerprinted, you know, just fucking wipe people out, rape, pillage, you know, do some Viking shit. In today's world, you don't have nearly the villainous freedom that I assume people used to have. So, stupid phrasing on the question. However, yeah, I mean, just about. Yeah, I typically am able to pursue one goal for a long period of time. Now, I didn't used to be that way. As I've gotten older, I've either gotten better at follow through, or I've gotten more selective in the goals that I will accept. Probably both. But for real, I'm really more of a tunnel vision for short term sort of guy. Bro, goodies is sex stuff. Getting goodies is what it's all about. But on the real, no, that's not the main purpose in life. It is something I spend a lot of time and attention on, but it's more for the challenge than the actual goodie. I mean, I don't give a fuck about your fucking free Dave Matthews band tickets or whatever. But you know what? I do expect special treatment, basically, everywhere. So, yeah, goodies are cool. As the man said, hell no, I don't plan anything in advance. I have a general direction, and as long as my activities and lifestyle is orienting my trajectory that way, an expansive, progressive fashion, then no, I don't really plan specifics. I'm not nearly cocky enough or arrogant enough to think that life isn't just gonna let me achieve my plans. It likes to throw curveballs at me. So I aim a direction, get that way the easiest I can, try to find the path of least resistance. No, money's good, but it's not the most important thing. Well, it really just depends, doesn't it? The bottom line is presumably a necessity, and the reason that you're doing anything in the first place. The higher values are a luxury. Nobody in poverty has the time to worry about higher values. Nobody in my fucking alley right now needs to worry about higher values. They need to get out of it. Oh yeah. Shouting matches is how my family talked, you know. That's how we talk at dinner. So that's certainly how I have historically handled milder disputes. Sometimes more serious ones call for more serious interactions. I joke. I have to say that. I mean, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It depends on the situation and the person. If I don't have to, I prefer not to. But if it's more convenient, then I will. But generally, manipulation is a higher energy interaction than just being straightforward. So, yes and no. Nathan didn't want to look up blowing his top on his own computer, but I ain't scared. So I looked it up, and 45 minutes and several videos later, I'm here to tell you that unlike goodies, this is not a sex term. It means losing your temper. Who knew? I mean, it's not my normal method of tension relief, but sometimes it happens. But I'm doing it less with age. No, I wouldn't. I mean, all else equal, if I was given the option, I would do the altruistic thing and not choose to unnecessarily harm somebody, but it's just sort of how I look at life. It's not entirely, but largely, I see it as a zero-sum game. No, and so yeah, if my success came at someone else's expense, I just sort of in the back of my mind assume it does and consciously don't even think about it. Love is over-idealized, and we only have Disney to thank for that. Now there's every girl and most of the guys on the planet think that they are entitled to happily ever after with a Prince Charming, in a sort of way that's, I think, psychologically and socially unhealthy, but that's another topic for another video. Fuck yeah, I do. Everybody likes a really clever scam. Nope. Sometimes. I guess if I'm in a playful mood with somebody I don't particularly care for. You know, there are certain times when I do. But all in all, it's, I'd rather not. I don't want to manipulate the emotions of people that I'm close to. I just want to be able to interact honestly. I don't prefer manipulation as a way of getting what I want out of people. I prefer coercion. It's all just simpler and easier. But there are certain times when it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. Doesn't bother me at all. I would lie. That's what sales is. If I wasn't willing to lie, I wouldn't be in sales. That's not what it is, but that's certainly a prerequisite. Look, the rules of the world are, there are rules that are enforced on people who choose to follow them or who are authorized or empowered to not follow them, or those who get caught. The rules of the game are you get away with what you can, you do what you can according to the risks you're willing to take and the power that you have. So, no, cheating is part of the game. If I'm willing to accept the risk of getting caught, then it's absolutely fair play because everybody plays by those rules. No, it's the opposite for this one. I'm on the same page as Nathan. When people start to understand me, that's really where the issues come in. The exception being with just some rough around the edges speech patterns. I'm not sensitive. I speak aggressively, and sometimes I forget that people are sensitive. I'm taken as harsher. Really. Yes and no. I mean, I wouldn't say they deserve it, like they should get it, but they deserve it, like, well, you know, you're responsible for you. And they caught you asleep. Nope, not really. I mean, I don't really consider them. Like, I am not in denial or unaware of them. I know what the potential risks and rewards are for basically everything I do. But I don't heed the warnings or the risks. Very optimistic in my own luck and skill. Yeah, I mean, everybody should look out for themselves. That should be everyone's top priority. You're no good to anybody if you don't look out for yourself first. So, this is a stupid, logical question, really.
If you made it through the whole video, congratulations. Leave me a comment, let me know you did. Like, subscribe, dislike. If you jump to the conclusion using the timestamp in the comments, I don't really blame you either. So for primary psychopathy, I scored a 4.3 out of 5. That is higher than 93.27% of the population. Secondary psychopathy, I scored a 3.6. That's higher than 88.6% of the population. I think my only final, parting thought that I'd have on this test and my results is that obviously, let me back up. Psychopathy is not a yes or no thing. It's not black and white. It's not you are or you are not. Everybody's got some psychopathic traits, and it's a sliding scale. It's the degree to which you have them. The other thing is that, as you'd expect, these results will vary for a person depending on their circumstances. Right now, I'm at a pretty chill place in my life. My results are probably certainly lower than they would have been, say, 3-4 years ago. Hopefully, they're lower than they'll be in the future. I just wanted to highlight that reality that these things do fluctuate according to where you're at in life. And so, thanks for watching. Be excellent.
Why don't you just shut the fuck up and listen to me?
Next we're going to go into non-disclosure agreements.
Why
How can we figure out how to do